Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Allykatkreations. Blessed Samhain to those who celebrate tonight. Otherwise, it's Halloween. Almost the end of Halloween into All Saints Day. So the last couple of days has been a wild ride. I was doing a truther marathon for the One Republic Network, and that was amazing. Please check it out on YouTube. It's slowly being dissected and put it back onto YouTube and other platforms. So there's a lot of different speakers, a lot of different topics to mull through. It's really fun. So I was listening to a few people today talk about Halloween and where did it come from? Why is it so evil? Why is everybody getting dressed up, handing candy out? And there's a couple of things that need to be said on this topic because in its origins, Samhain is a pagan holiday, not only celebrated by people who practice Wicca, witchcraft, but all plethora of other pagan faiths. And the origins is basically the end of summer, the end of fall, harvesting the land, thanking your ancestry, your ancestors, and those who came before you, and honoring them for allowing that land to be rich enough to sow and receive the abundance of harvesting those crops. And that your winter will be fulfilled and safe. And that's just a very basic intro to what the real meaning of that is. It's very, very intricate. But it's very well worth mentioning that it's to honor the dead. It's to honor the nature around you. Just like Christmas, it's an inverted holiday by the evil people. Because let's go kill things and let's do bad things, and let's take a holiday like we stole from everybody else, like all the pagan holidays were stolen, and all the deities that people used to pray to in harmless means were stolen. Sorry, it's the truth. And it's really sad. And yeah. So I have an interesting book. So I'm adopted, as I kind of disclosed, and I was born into Southern baptism, but then I was adopted into a Jewish family. And lucky for me that my Jewish family was not religious at all, and let me explore the spiritual, beautiful being that I am. And this allowed me to discover and read about all faiths and all different types of paganism and amazingness. And in being that, I have this little book. This is very old. You could see it's all ripped apart. There's candle wax all over it. It's WIcca Craft. And I'm going to read a little bit about what some witches, not all, because remember, the law of one states polarity. So we all incarnated on Earth, whether you want to believe in that or not. And we all have a role to play with each other. Now, on God's divine stage, we are either a person that needs to learn a lot more than others. They are people who choose to have a difficult life. But in essence, we all play a role in others' lives. So there are some people that I unknowingly didn't realize that I hurt. And I apologize, for anybody that I've hurt, I apologize. But you have to think on a deeper level, was there something I was doing to try to wake you up? Was there something that I needed to play out for you to see something? Not everything is supposed to be viewed as negative. It's a learning experience. It's a growth experience. It is supposed to happen the way it does for a reason. Now, when we look through all of our relationships, we've all played a role. You have to have bad things happen in order to see the good, the light, and the love within it. You have to have a balance, yin and yang. You have to have a balance. You can't just be gifted everything your entire life, because you're not going to learn anything. Your soul will not advance. That's not to say that your whole life should be a shit bag of fun. That's not okay either. There needs to be a balance of both. Not everybody has this balance, but we all play a role in each other's lives in order to create a balance. Now, polarity, you're a service to others, or you're a service to yourself. You could be a service to yourself and still be a service to others. You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. But there's positive and negative polarity. You have to have both. Which one are you going to choose? There are people who do very negative things with the powers that they have. There are people that have the same powers, but choose to use it for good. So when you generalize a statement of witches, you can be Galenda, or you could be the evil witch of the West under the house. Which one are you going to be? And it's really, really funny how a lot of people who are on the religious route, who dress their kids up for Halloween, it's a ritual, but it's been inverted. And tonight I want to try to clear that up, because Halloween is not going to be the same moving forward in this new world that we're all trying to manifest. Many of us are trying to manifest. It has to be changed. I like Halloween because you can dress up and be something that you ordinarily want to be. It's giving you the power to have fun, to receive a gift. But the act of saying trick or treat is a ritual. It's giving your consent. And that intention behind that very innocent act of asking for a piece of candy is satanic. So as much as you want to try to bash people like myself for doing what I do on a daily basis and just be myself, you need to stop and reflect in what you practice and how you practice. So I'm going to read. Nothing of this sort ever takes place at the witches' Sabbats. There are no sacrifices, human or animals. No black magic. And no anti-Catholic rituals. The Sabbaths are simply a time when witches celebrate natural dancing, singing, feast on traditional pagan foods, honor the deities of the old religions, mainly the goddesses of fertility and her consort, the horned god. Nature. In certain Wiccan traditions, the goddess is worshipped as the spring and summer, and the horned god is worshipped as fall and winter. The celebrations of each Sabbath is an intense and sublime spiritual experience, which allows Wiccans to be in harmonious balance with the forces of Mother Nature. Sounds pretty rather interesting and very spiritual and harmless to me. Samhain is the most important of all 8 witches' Sabbaths. As Halloween, it is one of the best known of the Sabbaths outside of the Wiccan community, and the most misunderstood and feared. I wonder why. Samhain is also the ancient Celtic Druid New Year, the beginning of the Seidr season and solemn rite and festival of the dead. It is the time when spirits of the deceased loved ones and friends are honored at one time in history. Many believe that it was the night when the dead returned to walk among the living. Samhain night is the ideal time to make contact with and receive messages from the spirit world. Like I said, it's to honor the dead. This is another book. I'll link the information in the description box, because these people who wrote this information is absolutely amazing. Now this is Seidr. This is from the Norse tradition, but they have a separate set of shamanism, and that's what this book is. But I want to read a little bit about the ancestors. As a part of the dead was believed to live on in memories and stories, remembering and honoring the ancestors was an important part of the Norse life. Paganism. Within modern paganism, the idea of honoring and remembering your ancestors has not been taken up with much vigor as some of the other pre-Christian beliefs. However, the heathen community has much richer attitude to ancestor worship than many of the other modern pagan traditions, who often only remember the ancestors once a year at Halloween. It is fair to say that the ancestors were a much more relevant and remembered part of ritual life to the Norse than they are to us today. H.R. Ellis Davison refers to instances where people would recite their ancestors and their places of burial. However, many of us are able to do this today. The names may not be passed on down the family line in the same way, but today we have access to so many more places to research and find out these facts. Whoever and whatever our ancestors were, which religious belief, which nationality, and which race, is it not always a good thing for us to learn names, places, and a burial sites? Like the medium and the shaman, the vulva was believed to converse with spirits, especially spirits of the dead, and to communicate to her living audience what he or she told her. Don't we pass down our names? I was named after my great grandma Anna, and happens to be synchronicities that my adopted family, my grandmother's name was Anna. We inherit our last names from our father. With pride, many of us share our nationalities and ethnicities. Although we fight over them, which we shouldn't, we are all human. We should love each other. Moving forward, we should always honor our past loved ones. It shouldn't be one holiday, but spiritually speaking, astrologically speaking, this is the time of year that the veil is thinning. And it is nice every once in a while, like I do. I thank my parents for the things that they have instilled within me and handed down to me. And I like to thank my ancestors for everything that they have contributed to having my life be more abundant than theirs. It's very important to honor, especially the heroes who put their lives on the line each and every day, especially the ones that are cleaning up the past horrors of what happened on Halloween, deep down underground, and their sacrifice. What a lot of people don't understand about Halloween is it's been hijacked by nefarious evil entities and people who worship things that are of evil. They sign their souls away. And they created the greatest act against God in killing innocents. It's time to reflect on why we dress our children up, why we hand out candy, and what we can do differently to not feed this evil agenda anymore. We got to take the negative horror. I love horror films, guys. I love all that stuff. But it doesn't have a place on one day, because that's where the energy is literally exploding. And that's what negative feeds off of. It's time to wake up and understand what has been going on in this world. This holiday has been hijacked. It's my favorite holiday. I love spooky stuff. But it could be spooky and be of light at the same time. We have free will. We have a choice. I love seeing all the little kids in the cutest little costumes ever. It uplifts my heart. And that's what it should be. That's what this holiday needs to become. An upliftment. An understanding that this is in honor of all of our ancestors on all parts of the planet. You can look at paganism as Native Americans believe that everything had a soul. Everything has a heartbeat, and it does. Everything's made up of atoms. We need to move forward and spread more light on this holiday than darkness. We need to understand that most religion was hijacked and inverted for the wrong reasons There's missing texts, paganism especially, because that predated everything. These are just people, primitive, not understanding weather patterns, not able to have a car to travel unless they walked for months and years on end to get to a hot climate if they're all the way up in Scandinavia. The Vikings had their ships and then they saw the rest of the world, but a lot of people didn't have that ship building technology. They didn't have the ones where they can go across the seas. So you got to think about the primitive people and what they started to believe in that got them through, that helped them get through. And no, not all of their beliefs are the greatest, not sacrificing things. Yes, Norse did that. But now we're in a different time. We have a better place in the world right now that we can create something new. And instead of being all scared and putting on scary costumes, we need to think about not having scary costumes. And this is coming from the gothist girl. I used to be called Morticia. I used to play all into that game. But now the game has changed. We need to be happy. Instead of handing out sugar, which is not good for you, you can hand out something different. There are healthy snacks. We need to start flipping the coin and the conversation into how can we make our world better? How can we turn a holiday that was in the beginning of time when it was created a good holiday, honoring the people who came before them, sowing the land, harvesting their crops, and thanking Mother Earth for that, to this negative agenda where we're going to pump you with fear and make you watch horror films and you dress scary and you're giving your consent away by saying a line and getting a candy for it and then getting hyped up. Yeah. Think about it. And please write it on the comments below. And if you resonate with this, can you please like and subscribe to my channel? Sending you all love and light on this blessed Samhain Eve. Now All Souls Day. Or is it All Saints Day? All Saints Day. I have something really special though I want to do too after I pull. We need to have love and light today. What does, I'm sitting on my meditation mat. It's not easy to shuffle cards for everybody. I got my candles going on. My light's really bright. Got my incense going. That's all sage. Sage incense. Okay. I have a Halloween dress on. It's purple and innocently cute, not scary. Even though I scare a lot of people. the last few pulls, guys, it's like I have a friend that's invisible to your eyes, like right here, because this sinks. I am limited by others' perceptions of me. I am not limited by others' perceptions of me. When was the last time I let someone else influence decisions that only impact me? What can I do to loosen their hold on me? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get the glare off the card. Food for thought. You don't have to follow everybody to the costume store and get hookerish clothing and show off your body when you're in your mid to late 30s. It's nice that you have the body, but that's the other side of what's wrong with Halloween. We desensitized children to adult costumes that are very, very, listen, I'm not here to tell anybody how to dress because, listen, I was there once too. But when you understand why these costumes were put out, what the actual intentions are, when you want to think about that and think about what happens during a Black Mass and why they sexualize females especially and children, do you think that's right? Especially on one day, that's where they prey upon the most? There's a lot of statistics about Halloween and how many children go missing. And women. It's going to stop. But the behavior of us has to stop as well. I'm not saying that you can't dress like that in any other part of your life, but really think about, why are you dressing like that? And it's okay to, if that's what makes you happy, amazing. But really think past that and understand why. Just this one day, it's the biggest party costume extravaganza looking like that. Trying to be nice. I know a lot of dancer friends. I have friends from all different parts and walks of life, and I respect each and every one of them. I don't hold judgment on them. A lot of people hold judgment upon me. I'm trying to break the mold. So here's the affirmation. If you like my little content, please like, share, and subscribe. I love to grow this channel. I would love to share my wealth of knowledge. And because it is Halloween and now All Saints Day, I felt I had to do another video. I was going to do a live, but then I figured tomorrow's Monday and a lot of people are going to work. So posting it wouldn't matter at what time. But figured this would be fun anyway. All right, let's see what the affirmation cards have for us today. Always happens. I have two cards together and then I get I'm liking this one, guys. Embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. Sorry, guys, I'm trying with the light. Okay. Embodying my soul. When your soul is embodied, you are grateful to be alive. You are aware of life as a precious opportunity to experience the frequency of your own light through the unique attributes, characteristics, and senses of a person. As your soul becomes embodied, you are elated to be a part of life's cosmic play, no matter how bad things seem. This mantra is ideal for developing courage, finding your inner voice, and feeling safe in your body. Perfect card to be pulled today. So before I do an oracle card, and I have a really special one just for today. I'm sorry, my computer is like propped up on 1,000 things. I have another giveaway. Mary really liked hers. And I'm very happy that I was able to get somebody a creation of mine. I'm going to say that I'm going to give a little bit more time because I don't have as many subscribers yet. But this month, I am giving away this wolf creation. I also have to clean it up a little bit. This has sodalite, lavender seeds, turquoise, rose quartz, labradorite, clear quartz, some pieces of obsidian, copper, opalite, and some silver. So this will be up for grabs. At some point, I will do another video to tell you when, but you can win this. Also, I made more creations, but I'm waiting for a piece of tool to be delivered to me, thanks to a generous donation, because all of this has to be taken off. But this is flowers with amethyst, copper, and clear quartz. And I know it's very not easy to see. This has some rose petals, flowers, some copper. I think I also have crystal quartz in here. It's not easy to see the quartz. I made rings. I made some rings too. I have rose quartz with rose petals. That's a real, like this, it's like big for my thumb. This is a really big ring. Again, I'm waiting for that because I have access on it, but there's rose quartz, crystal quartz, and copper in this one. I have a small ring, more rose petals and rose quartz and a little bit of copper. I have to clean this one up. This one too, as we can see, I have a lot of excess. I love these 80s rings, guys. I can't help myself. That's like a whole rose bud in there. This one got a chip on it, but I think it's pretty cool. It's labrador, it's rose quartz and obsidian. This is a small guy. That's obsidian and some turquoise. That. Also, because of the weather, a lot of my stuff had some bubbles, even though I took the bubbles out. So yeah, I made a lot of really fun of making the jewelry. Christmas is around the corner, and you can find my little creation store on Facebook at Allykatkreations. Christmas is around the corner, and these are really cheap. Just saying. And they're different. Okay, now for special. Now I'm using Talking to Heaven by James Van Praagh. He has really good shows on Monday. I want to say 3 Eastern, I think. But he does some of those times he does a lot of meditation. He talks about different types of topics. He takes questions. He doesn't do readings during that time. But he does a lot of really good intuitive talks. So I'm going to ask the cards, what does everybody need to hear from Spirit? What messages does Spirit want to tell us in the collective tonight? They're popping out. My goodness. Okay, what does the collective need to hear from Spirit tonight? I'm surrounded by loving animals. Oh my goodness. I'm going to pull another one. That is amazing. That is going to make me cry. What else do we need to hear from Spirit tonight? This is a good message, as everything just fell. Give me a second. All right. And then I'll read for you. If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. So This might not resonate with everybody who's watching this video, but we'll read on. But one of those two cards I hope does resonate with you. This definitely resonates with me. For our pets that have passed on are always with us. And one day I might go into my theory about what happens to them. All right. You know that I am an animal lover, so you'll rejoice to hear that I surrounded by beloved pets and an array of wonderful animal friends. Animals definitely have souls and feelings, and they make the best earthly and heavenly companions. They are even sweeter here than they were on Earth. When I passed from the physical world, I was met by my loved ones, including pets. I've since learned that animals are angels who accompany us in our physical lives, helping us keep our hearts open when it's difficult to love other people or ourselves. God, how cute is this card? It gets me. All right. There's a lot of ifs and I ams, so hang on. If, where is my ifs? There it is. While living on Earth, if I had realized just how creative and powerful my thoughts were and their effect on other people, I would have been so much more aware of what I put out. Of course, I have regrets, but now I also realize that these were merely opportunities to grow. We never stop learning here on Earth. My deepest wish is that from my words, you learn to treat other people as you would yourself. Let go of the old earthly patterns of judgment and fear, and make an effort to bring love to everything and everyone who walks upon your path. That way, when you come here, you will have no room for regrets. I promise. So I hope those powerful words from Spirit resonates with many of you. It's very important, especially on tonight. I'm happy to know that my parents are with my first cat I've ever had, Taffy, and that they're with him. I need my moon water because it's almost time to put it in the window for the new moon. So, what can you do to honor your ancestors? You can always light a candle by their picture. You can pray to them. You can talk out loud to them. They will hear you. You can thank you for everything that you have that was passed down by them, from them. This is what Halloween should be, but it should be done more often. You know, it's only some people, not all, think of their dead loved one only on a birthday or an anniversary that passes, that they're not here. We should be honoring them a lot more. And the past. And it doesn't need to have a candle. You can look, you can say, thank you for everything I have. Thank you. And I know there's a lot of people out in the world that have situations that aren't so humbling. I know I wasn't born into a humbling situation. I know there's a lot of people struggling and suffering. But you always have to remember, you were brought here for a purpose. You chose to come here. Your circumstances were chosen by you. That's the hardest pill to swallow. It really is. Unfortunately, we're all here right now to undo the wrongs that we've lived through for a millennia. We were duped. We were lied to. We were manipulated without our knowing. We live on earth, which is the veil of forgetting. We have lived many, 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 many lives. Some of us billions of lives, many of us thousands. Many of us have been on other planets. Many of us have lived so many lives, and many of us can't remember. And that's because we come here and it's wiped from us. But that ends now. And soon many people are going to start remembering why they came to Earth. And they're going to start remembering their past lives. They're going to remember that they were in Egypt. They're going to remember that they were in Atlantis. They're going to remember that they were on a horse in the medieval age. They're going to remember wearing the plague mask. Death is only a transition. Meat suit. Our souls chose our situation, and we should honor those that came before us. We need to start thinking how we're going to celebrate a lot of holidays. It's not just Halloween. Halloween happens to be like dubbed the most evilest holiday ever. I would say May Day is also very evil for the evil people because of what they do. What they do on those holidays are unacceptable to human nature and should not be allowed anymore. We're not in barbaric times anymore. We have the knowledge, we have the knowing, we have the consciousness to rise above that stuff. Whereas back when our ancestors came, they didn't know much of anything. They didn't know that there were other people around the world. Everything was very superstitious. And even those people were lied to. It's our time now, guys. We have to make things lighter. We have to make things better. We need to embrace the change, especially now. A lot of changes are coming. A lot. We need to be ready for them. We need to understand that it makes me upset that something that I studied and that I honor doesn't mean I don't believe in God. I do. But I understand the paradigm of the many universes and the many mansions and the many creator gods to the galactics. It's all tied in and it's all one and the same. The trees speak. The trees are alive. So are the plants. Earth is alive. It has a heartbeat. It's called a Schumann resonance. We were supposed to be hit with major solar flares today, and I have a suspicious feeling that we were not hit directly because our galactic friends helped out in that process. There's a lot going on in our world, guys, and we all need to start putting out higher vibrations. We need to go within. We need to ask some very deep questions, because soon the truth is going to come out, whether you like it or not. And you don't need to believe in it, but you're not going to advance if you don't have an open mind. I'm hoping by next Halloween, we can give healthier food out. We can have the parades. Those are amazing, but let's keep it lighthearted. We can have movies. Let them be historically accurate. Women died on the stake and were burned for just having abilities. Like I said in the last video, the people in the Bible are channeling. They're mediums. Where did they get that information? Where did Daniel get his information from? Just saying. It's acceptable to call them prophets, but there are people out there that have that gift too, and they're devil worshippers. They wrote that in there for a reason. It was to shut you down from your potential. It's a God-given gift. The polarity in this world is good and evil, and you have to have the balance. It's how you use those abilities for good or for evil. But again, it all teaches us something. It's better to forgive those who did wrong, because sometimes the wrong that happens to you is a lesson you really needed to learn. I know I've been in very abusive relationships. The last one I was in 2013, and that person really ripped my heart out of my chest. Really hurt me. Not physically, mentally. But it was the best relationship I've had, because it was karmic. He owed me. He put me on my path. He made me understand I needed to choose. He was open to the person that I am and allowed me to be who I was. In that time from then, I transformed into a better human being because of that hurt and that pain that I had to go through. I had to learn a lot. We all go through these things. We all go through really nasty, very vicious cycles in life, but most of the time we come out a better person for it. And I just keep having to learn the same old cycle over again, that I can't trust many people. I've never seen in a lot of people's eyes as being worthy to have in their presence. And that's changing now, because I'm finding people who are frequencing on my vibration. And I know I'm not the only one in the world that feels this way. There's a lot of people going through very devastating times of losing a husband, losing the boyfriend, not by death, by just not frequencing at their level. You're higher, you're raising above it. And you have to let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. And that's the hardest and the scariest thing that you can put yourself through. You could do it. Halloween, I'm praying by next year is going to change. I love to see little kids in cute costumes, and I want to keep that. I want to keep giving little takeaways to put a smile on somebody's face. But we need to stop the ritual nonsense that goes on behind it. We have to make it a wholesome holiday. And very soon I'm going to do what actually Christmas is. Because I've been posting about that on my private little internets. But not today's topic. So I want to give everybody some love and light, and I hope that everybody's having an amazing Samhain holiday, that you're getting home safe. If you're out and you took off tomorrow, please, again, drugs lower your vibration, and it allows other entities to walk near you and closer to you and sneak into your house. Protect yourself and your soul. You can use smudge soap. Even though my incense is already out, incense. You can pray. I have candles going on behind me. You can use my wand. And clear my space around me. I have my salt. My selenite stick. All my goodies. If you have it in your heart to help me, you can donate to me. And it doesn't need to be money. It can be food, because I'm running out. And I'm very thankful for that people are actually offering their extra WIC and SNAP benefits to me. And it's getting to that point. And I'm not here for sympathy or pity. I'm trying my best to figure it out, guys. It's hard. It really is. When you're putting and pouring your heart out every day, trying and looking and doing and figuring it out, it's hard. But I gotta go through things twice to break this cycle, right? But if you have it in your heart to give me a love donation, it could be any amount. If you have it within your heart to even just like, share, and subscribe, that would be a blessing. You can PayPal me, paypal.me at Allykatkreations211, Venmo at Allykatzkreations211. You can email me at Allykatkreations211 at Gmail, and I do read your emails and they're amazing. So thank you. Remember that I want to say maybe next week. Well, this is now the new week, but I'm going to do another video very soon, but I want to give this away. This is a wolf. You can find my little Facebook, little stop and shop on Allykatkreations on Facebook. I have an Instagram that's Allykats with the Z Creations. I also have something new to this channel, and because of what my prior job was, I was a paraprofessional. I love children, And I did, during the remote time, a lot of videos of read alouds. So I have a lot of books and a lot of videos that I don't want to just delete. I rather just read and put those up for everybody to share. So it's clean. It's in my read aloud section, and I have a lot more videos to upload, but please use them if you can. If you have children, if you're babysitting, if you are in a homeschool, if you're doing a pod, if you read all the books in your house and you need, your kid doesn't want to hear it anymore. Like, I have a lot of books I still have to record, but this is for you guys to utilize at any time that you want. So I hope that's something I can help out others with, is doing book read alouds for children. They're through like pre-K to like 3rd grade with the content. I don't have many chapter books. I might start doing that eventually. We'll see how it goes. If people like it, I'll keep going with it. But please be safe. Please enjoy your night. If you're working tomorrow, I hope you see this and after, and that you had a good Halloween. Please write in the comments down below if any of this resonates with you. And I hope that all of you have a really good night. Sending all of you love and light, healing energy. And I pray that by next year, we have a new holiday that's even brighter and more fun than this. And for all the children who have been lost to this holiday for nefarious, evil reasons, I'm praying that your souls are released into the light. Because the truth is coming out soon. And I honor your name and your legacy, even if it wasn't on earth for that long. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's the most you can do.